I make all of my own glass dinnerware and we're so bad. I've had this idea for probably months and I can't wait to bring it to life. This episode is going to be very manual and quite tedious, so buckle up. Today we're going to try to recreate this beautiful quilt out of glass called a yo-yo quilt, and it was really popular in the 1920s through the 1940s. It consists of a ton of scrap fabric that's hand sewn together. I think they're really beautiful and I'm going to do the same thing just using scrap glass. I coated the kiln and got straight to work figuring out what sizes I need to make the circles. Here's the two sizes I went with. You can see how small they are compared to the kiln shelf. I had a lot of work cut out for me. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to fill this entire kiln shelf with tiny little squares of glass, and each of them were 2 layers thick. So this was a lot of work. The bigger squares were a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch and the smaller ones were a 1/4 of that. I was having so much fun playing with all the colors. I did bleed multiple times, but that's just a part of the process. And it took forever, but hand stitching an entire quilt would have taken me way longer. I did a lot of these two-tone too, which I think is so fun. I can't wait to see how they turn out. And here's me placing the very last one. This is where it gets a little tricky, right? We have to place something on top of these to smush them down to turn into circles. If we fired it just like this, they would still stay squares, and I need a circle. This is a beautiful view of my vintage Lee Riders, but I'm coating this kiln shelf to flip over and put on top, and here's me nervously placing it because one wrong move and I could have messed this all up, but luckily it went on smoothly and I'm pretty sure nothing underneath moved, but we won't know until I open it tomorrow. And just like that, it looks like I put nothing in the kiln. And then I set the firing schedule and we're getting this glass hot. I'm talking over 1500 degrees. I gave it a kiss and closed the kiln. Luckily, you guys don't have to wait a day. Here's the next day. We had a special guest. This is Ruby. She's also wearing my Louboutins that I painted in my last video, which I thought was worth noting. Enough of that. Let's see how we did. I was dying to see how these looked. Honestly, the only thing that I thought could go wrong was that they would all bleed together, and I was really just hoping that that didn't happen, and it turns out it didn't. These look so fun. I can't wait to play around with all the different color combinations. You're probably noticing all of the kiln wash. Some of them were also stuck to the top of the shelf. I'm sorry to do it, but that's going to be a problem for us in the next episode. You're going to have to follow for part 2 where I turn this into an actual plate, but I think we're off to a good start.